I did the casing in my stores. I didn't leave it to others, period. As the guy who was the main guy, always going in first, always jumping the counter, always doing what I had to do, taking the people down, I'm the one.
Hi, I'm Larry Lawton, America's biggest jewel thief. Join me as I walk you through my past robberies, how I planned them, executed them, and ultimately got caught. I'm going to show you how we did things in prison, like making a tattoo gun, making wine, making white lightning. It's going to be very educational. These are the untold stories.
Hey everybody, Larry Lawton here. I got a good video for you this Sunday. This video is the most important parts of a robbery. I got enough emails on this and enough requests that I said I had to do it. I hate to let people think that I'm trying to promote robberies, because I'm not. But that's what I am, and that's what this channel is, YouTube Larry Lawton Jewel Thief. So I am going to tell you the most important parts of a robbery that I looked at, and I think anybody who's really a criminal will look at. But before I get started, please check me on YouTube member programs, Patreon member programs, Discord. Check our merch out. Gangster Redemption, it's in the link below. Great reviews, everybody loves it. I'm gonna be doing a tour with it, and I'm gonna probably do it when I come out with my next book, which is The Prison Cooking with Larry Lawton. So, let's jump into this robbery. What do you have with this robbery? Well, I consider 5 things the most important parts of a robbery. Now, I'm gonna be talking about a jewelry robbery, but this probably goes with every robbery. Please don't think I'm just trying to give, even if you own a store, if you own something and you see something around that happening, you'll be able to say, wow, are they casing me? Or what's going on? Why do I see that car? Something like that. But we're gonna run into this right now. All right, what's the most? First of all, I pick out 5 things that are the most important part of a robbery. One is the case. Casing a store is looking who's coming and going, when it's time is the best. Is the mailman coming? Is the UPS person coming? Is there times when employees come on and off an off hour? Is there a diamond wholesaler that comes? Maybe that's a good time to do it, but then you'll find that out during the casing of the store. The second one, and I'm gonna get into these a little bit more deeper. The second one is the location. Now, you might think that's part of the case, and I guess they all are, but that's casing the location. There's casing a location or finding the location, and then there's casing the store itself. But let's just call it the location. Now, what does location have to do with it? Is it easily accessible? Is it facing in the right direction? Is it close to a getaway route? Is there somebody else around it that might, be no good? I mean, is it sitting next to a police station? I mean, if it's sitting next to a police station, I don't think you're gonna rob it. I mean, I don't care how good you think you are. I don't think I would rob it. The next one, obviously location, is the difficulty. What do I mean by difficulty? Every store has difficulties. It could be 2 doors. It could be where the place is located, meaning is there safe? Is going into another room? You don't know what's behind that room. That's very important. When you case a store and you eventually find out everything, you're gonna look back and say, man, what was the problem here? It was too difficult. I mean, I could have attempted it, but I don't know. The next part, and again, we're gonna go down all of these, and I'm gonna tell you what my most important one is. And then the next one is value. What's in the place? I mean, you could rob something and it's worth not so much money, and then you get caught and you get the same time as somebody who robbed $4 million and you robbed $400. Usually it doesn't work that way because there's sentencing guidelines and it goes by value, but I think you get my drift. You want to make sure the value's in there worth the risk. I was going to rob a store for $12 million. The risk was higher, but the reward was higher. At the end of that, it didn't go off, and I think it's in the book and everything else. It's down at the H. Stern Jewelers down in Miami, during Miami Beach. And I cased that store for weeks, and eventually just threw it away and said it's not worth it. The risk was just high. The value was high, but to me, that risk was just a little too high. Especially if a few things happened. Anyway, and the last to me is people. How many people are in the store? How many come in the store? How many go by the store? How many walk by all day long? Personnel is important, because you'll see places switch things up, and I hope they do that because I tell them to do that. The best thing you can do as an owner is switch up when people come in and out. Once they're on a routine, I know it, I'm gonna have a really, really big advantage in this robbery. And again, that's something that you don't want to go. Now, let's get into each one of these right down to it. And I'm gonna give you the most important, from least to the most important. Now, I kind of went backwards, but the least most important to me is how many people. I have to know it, and that's why I might sit there for weeks to know who's coming and going, who's the employees. Is the owner have a brother that comes in to check on stuff on a Friday to give paychecks out? Is there a paycheck company guy that comes in every Friday, or it comes on Mondays to get the hours? I don't know. How many people does matter. To me, everything matters. Obviously, to do this thing right, you really have to know. But I'm going importance. I think that's very, very, very important to me. The next part, I think, is the least, and I'll call least important. I hate to say least or most important. They're all important because any one of them can get you caught. Now, remember this when I'm telling you. Every one of these overlap each other. And when you get good, like I was, you know, my senses were up about everything. I mean, I could tell you when the police were coming in the area. I could tell you when a fire department might do fire checks. There's so many variables that you get used to, and they just come naturally almost. You know, when I was doing this and preparing for this video, I actually went down town where I live, and it was a jewelry store, and I sat out front and I just watched this jewelry store, and I said, you know, I could rob this jewelry store. It's so fucking easy, I hate to say, because these people don't change up routines. I checked out a store for a little bit, and everything that was done in that store was not for security purposes. People get complacent, you know. You got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in value right there in the front of your store, or even the front and to the back safe. You better have better security than that. You know, I'm not at that point where I go and tell. I hope that people listen to me, people who own jewelry stores or work in any store, because all what I'm talking about really has to do with everybody. So the number of people, although it's important, is probably the least most important. The next least most important in my thing is, now it's hard, it's just gonna be so hard to explain, but I'm gonna try to do it anyway. Obviously, you know, wow, difficulty, and I say difficulty because I didn't consider it difficult. I had a way around all the difficulties, whether it was the route, whether see again, difficulty is gonna come next to location. What's in the back? Is there a barrier? Just by riding by, let's say I see a glass, thick glass, and no, you can't jump that counter. You can't get over to that person. I mean, that's a difficulty that's gonna be hard to overcome, no matter how you get them down. Some places are in neighborhoods like that, and I never robbed like that, but some of them have that. So the difficulty to me is kind of, it goes to every one of these three. Obviously, they all are intertwined in a very big way, and you're gonna see what I think. The next one is location. Now, this is number 3, and here's what I mean by that. I've done jewelry robberies mostly in the mornings when the sun was hitting on a certain way, because the location was the way I wanted it. So because the sun rises in the east and falls in the west. If the store is facing east and the sun is coming in, nobody can see in that window. It's a glare against that window. Now, that's part of the location of the store. Obviously, the location of the store, meaning, is it next to a major highway or a major road I can blend in the location of the place is important. But I've done things to get around that. Obviously, getting around that is probably, for me, I mean, I would just take to different times. I had almost a mental checklist. High traffic, no way they could stay in. The guy, you know, has put in, display cases in front of the whole window. So he screwed himself so nobody could see in to see if a robbery's happening. He's got a buzzer on the door, which is good for me as a professional. So nobody's gonna come in behind me and just, oh shit, and then run back out, and then all of a sudden you're hit, screaming robbery, robbery, robbery down the street. You're going, people pick you out. It could be a whole fucking disaster doing that. So that case, I'm gonna go with that location, because I can figure location out, when to do it. That's more of the location part of it. The next two, obvious. The next one is value, and I know you say that because, listen, the second thing I check is it worth it? Is there enough money in there? I'm not gonna rob a store. I robbed the Friedmans, and I learned that you don't rob chain stores. They're a no-go. Mayors, all that crap that you see in the mall, K Jewelers, Mayors, and Friedmans. They're not very high value. Obviously, they're chain store. If you want something bigger or better, they gotta call someone, bring it in. It's a whole big animal to do with them. And they're not worth it. I robbed one. I didn't get much. I think I got about $250,000. And it was one of the lower ones that I got. So in that case, I'm gonna say number 2. The number 1 thing for a robbery is the actual case. And this is what takes weeks. Sometimes could be taken a week, or could take 2 to 3 weeks. And you have to have the discipline to pull the plug. That's very, very important, everybody. Now, again, I'm not saying these things so you go out and think you can rob something, because you will get caught. Think times have changed. Everybody asks me, I get a lot of questions, do you think I could rob something? Yes, there's no question I think I could. I really do. I think I've done enough of these. I understand the system. I understand how technology works. I understand value. I understand connection. I understand your fence. And that has something to do with difficulty too, the fence. So can you fence it? Is it so exotic of a piece of jewelry that nobody wants to touch it? I talked early on about, when you rob something, I could have robbed Picasso's, Rembrandt's, all these famous artists. There was an art show and I had an in, and he said to me, Larry, do you want any of them? I'll tell you how we could set it up. I made some phone calls. This is down at Miami Convention Center. And I made some phone calls, and I found out I couldn't get 3 cents on the dollar. Couldn't get anything. So if I rob a painting for $1 million and I can't get $30,000 for it, what the fuck am I gonna rob it? You know what the heat's gonna be, and you rob all this kind of stuff? It's gonna be really, really hard. And then how do you get rid of it? That's the problem. You can't get rid of shit. There was an old saying, an old time criminal told me once, he goes, and I used to pass it on too, I hate to say this, but listen, don't rob something you can't get rid of. I don't care what it is. When we were kids, we had the one crew to robbing some stuff down out of the path marks and stuff, but they got rid of it. They had outs. They knew where to get rid of the shit. And I don't care, and they're robbing steaks and lobsters and stuff. Well, they had another store that's willing to buy them. So you rob something that's worth robbing. You can rob something that's really valuable, but it's only valuable to one person. What good is it? Nobody's gonna give you money for it. So that's very, when you case the store, there's such intricacies to casing a store. I mean, you're first of all, you have to be inconspicuous enough when you case the store, so you're not being seen, and now before you know it, you're being watched. And that has happened. When I cased the store, most of the stores were in plazas with like a Publix or a Winn-Dixie store, a Pathmark, you're up north, or wherever the store you are, and you can blend in. You park your car, you read a newspaper like you're waiting for your wife who is shopping, and you're really watching that store. And I mean watching it hard. What about timing? Can you sit in that parking lot at 6 in the morning and watch that store, and because you don't know who's coming to open? You have to get there sometimes very early, depending on what time a store opens. And even when you know a store opens, let's just say 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. You can't get there at 8:30 and think you're gonna understand the whole store. You don't know when the first person got there. You gotta know their cars. You gotta know when they opened. You gotta know if there's trash coming. You gotta know if there's mall security or plaza security that does drive around. But all of that, you have to understand. So can you case that store from a specific spot at a very early time and not look conspicuous? Because yes, you can get stopped. Now remember, when I'm casing the store, I'm a regular person. My plates are real, everything's real. In case a cop stopped me, what are you doing? Wait for a friend here. We said we'd meet in Winn-Dixie parking lot. Now he says, okay, all right, because somebody said something. All right, officer, have a great day. That's out. Store's over. Can't done. But someone picked you out for being in that parking lot too many times. Obviously, we had one car, so if you're in a big parking lot, like a Winn-Dixie or a Publix or whatever store it's going to be, the anchor store we call them, you could really blend in your car in different parts. Now, also on a case, you're going to be casing the store. When a person cases a store, they case them all different times of the day. So you're going to case in the morning, you're going to case in the afternoon, see who's coming. Then you're going to case in the night. You're going to figure out what the best time to rob that store is. And that is part of difficulty, part of location, part of it all. It all comes within these 5 big things I picked. All of them are very, very important because any one of them can get you busted. When you go in the store to case the store is probably the most time that you could get, you could feel it, you not like it could cancel the robbery. And this will happen after 2 or 3 days. Because you find the location, you like the exit strategy, you like how many people going, you watched it once or twice, you know there's only 2 or 3 employees, the store is facing east and you want to do it in the morning, all of those things. Now you have to go in when you check the value, and that's why I put value number 2. And when you check the value, you're also checking the security system in that store. What do I mean by security system? You'll know already if there's a buzzer in the door by watching people come in the store. If they sit there and they go and they hit a buzzer or they knock or something, they're being let in. Now, if they just come by and just swing the door open and go in, now, when you rode by, you just see a double door. Meaning there's one door you get in, and then the buzzer door is the one after that. That happens too. So you have to make sure of that. So understanding when you go in the store to talk about being a customer. I had a specific line. My line was I would walk in. I would usually have a sports coat. In Florida here, I used to keep, I didn't have all these tattoos. This was prison, but I did have tattoos. So I had a long sleeve shirt. I always had my nice Rolex watch. Sometimes a gold band, diamond ring. I looked good. I used to put on I didn't wear glasses at the time, and I had nice gold rimmed glasses with clear, so they didn't know, but it was gold, nice gold glasses. I would always color my hair or part it in a different way than I ever did. I used to not have facial hair back then at home or anywhere else, so what I would do is either be shaven clean or not shaven clean and let it grow before the robbery and have a nicely trimmed something like that. So I looked good. Now, when I go into that store, I'd say, hey, I'd be looking around. Guys are looking, they see you got money. They want you. You're a target to them now. Now, this is their mistake. You're the target. They're thinking, man, I got to sell this guy. Look, he's got a Rolex, he's got this. Looks like he's got money or whatever he's got. So what happens then is I would say to the guy, hey, how you doing? And he'd talk to him, kind of look, yeah, I'm just looking around. He'd go, I'm a builder in the area now. I'm building this complex down the road. I'd always find a complex that was being built, maybe a mall or something. I'm a contractor and I'm building something down the road, down here. And, I'm married 10 years now. When I first got married, I didn't have the money. I bought my wife about a 3/4 carat. Hey, okay ring. But now I'm looking to upgrade to maybe 1.5, something like that. I'd like to see the prices on those. I'm looking to spend, 10, 12, 15 grand, something give or take. I don't know, depending if it's worth it. I looked up some things online, and you're supposed to have a GIA certificate to make him think I did my research. Oh, I'll tell you all about that. He starts talking to you now. All the while I'm doing this, I'm also very, very conscious not to touch anything with my fingers. Just because I'm a regular citizen. Now, I always made sure I was not conscious. I'd have my hands like this on the desk or, and I'd be, talk to them. I'd look around and say, what is that one worth? Now, with me, the first thing they did, and when they did that, is they pull out the box of diamonds. When they pull out a box, usually from a safe or a secret location in an office, it'd be about a box this big by this wide. Look like a baseball card box. Well, in them are envelopes, and in that box I'm asking, now he opens, he brings the box right out. He's got a security, might even have another guy there, you know, that think in case. But I'm not doing anything. Got nothing. I can make sure they can see that I don't have anything. Never wore it where I had a jacket. Sometimes I had a sports jacket, but it'd be wide open. I would take the sports jacket off. Man, it's hot, and put it over my shoulder. So then I had a long sleeve shirt, so it looks like I'm just taking off, getting comfortable. Now, some of these owners are very cautious too, because they'll make sure of that as well. So now, what I would do, since the owner's talking to me, showing me, I would always ask for, okay, let me see, maybe a carat and a quarter, something nice, good diamond. Now, I'm watching. If he picks the carat of diamond, carat and a quarter right here, right? And he shows it to me, opens it up. He's got the little clippers, you know, to hold them, like 4 things. He's showing you and you're looking at it. Like, you know, he gives you the loop, you look at it. I knew what to look for, but I made like I didn't know what to look for. And I'm looking, he's telling me about the diamond. I said, okay, show me about a carat and maybe 3/4. Now the box is here. He pulled that out of here. If he goes to here, I know that all these diamonds are big time diamonds. Good loose stones. If he goes this way, I know most of this is gonna be 1 carat, half a carat, 3/4 carat. Oh, more shit moving up. I ain't saying it's shit because, you know, I've seen 2 carat diamond go for 10 grand. I've seen a 2 carat diamond go for 100 grand. All goes by the quality of that diamond. Is it a VVS1, a D color? Is it a perfect geometric cut, which is the math of a diamond? Is it the right, you know, the flaws and all that kind of stuff? So those are the stuff I would look at. And now this is all during the case. So now I'm casing this store. I'm watching. I come out to my crew and I say, hey, bro, hey, couple of guys, whoever I had. I said, this is what we're doing here. It looks good. Why things? What do you? I did the casing in my stores. I didn't leave it to others. Period. That was me. As the guy who was the main guy, always going in first, always jumping the counter, always doing what I had to do, taking the people down. I'm the one. I've had jewelry store owners actually say, oh yeah, use our bathroom in the back. I walk in the back and I'm looking around, I see cameras, stuff. Things are a little bit different. Cameras, there's ways they can prevent this too, and we're gonna get into that prevention. I think there's even a video in my playlist about how to prevent robberies. Look at Maximum Security. It's when I robbed a cigar store, and you'll understand what I'm talking about with cameras and stuff like that. So far you have, obviously you have personnel, difficulty, location, value, the casing of itself, and that's the top 5. But the most important part of a robbery, the most important part, is this shirt. 3 can keep a secret if 2 are dead. What does that mean? How much do you trust your partners? Anybody comes to me with a robbery, the first thing I say to them is if I ever do a robbery with you, I'm killing you. They look at me, what the fuck, is he nuts? No, I'm honest, because I don't want to do a robbery, number 1, because I don't even know if I'm being set up. I'm past that. I hope you are. I hope everybody's just understanding I do this to educate you on other people. You could hear somebody talking and know if they know what the fuck they're talking about after watching my videos. But if 3 can keep a secret, 2 are dead. Remember that. So that means, are your partners going to rat on you? Mine didn't. Never. I have such a cautionary person. Even my crew didn't know 100% of everything. Nobody did. Only me. Because that puts me at the pinnacle of the trouble. But it also doesn't give them enough information to bury me. I hope you're making good choices. I hope you're doing the right thing out there. Life is way too short. Have a great day, everybody. Please stay safe. We'll be back this week with some more videos.